All right, welcome to another episode of Around the County with Supervisor Jim Desmond. I'm Miles Himmel, Communications Director for District 5, and we've got two special guests with us today. We've got Deputy Sheriff Dustin Nelson and Deputy Todd Baker with us, and we're talking about the Respect Project, which is, maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't, and that's kind of my first question. What's the Respect Project?
So Respect Project is all about building relationships. It's a sheriff's mentoring program with youth ages 8th grade to 12th grade. And our big passion here at Respect is to really foster positive relationships between law enforcement and youth that may or may not be struggling in some areas, whether that's at home or in school or in the community. And so we put them through some programming and hopefully give them the tools to succeed and thrive in their life and in the community.
When you guys, I mean, when it's different, right? People look at you guys and they think you're out there shooting bad guys and tackle them down. Why'd you start this? Why was there a need for this?
Well, we definitely, we both worked patrol. We were both out on the streets. So we definitely looked at, there's got to be another way to help out the community. And we kept running into juveniles that we kept dealing with over and over again. And we realized that, having, who is mentoring those kids on the street? And, so often everyone gets mentored and, who's filling their void? And if they didn't have fathers at home or uncles or brothers that were there for positive role models, that's where we saw that gangs would come in and fill that void. So we definitely felt that, having an opportunity to be with those kids and know their story, and that's what really helps us change lives through relationships.
Well, how long have you been, as a project, been in place, the Respect Project? And then how many, youth have you affected and reached out to? Have you got any success stories you kind of share that, let people know about?
Yeah, we started in about the summer of 2014. We had a meeting with some community partners over at the San Marcos Sheriff Station and really got the community to buy into helping these youth in a different way with law enforcement, with the Sheriff's Department kind of spearheading the program. We had a great leader at the time in our department, Captain Ibarando, who really empowered us to think outside the box and come up with something that we felt like could really make a difference. And so we did that. And we started our first academy, if you will, or first group with our students at the San Marcos Boys and Girls Club, and graduated 9 students. It was very fresh. It was new to us. It was new to these students. And with the success, it just kept growing. And our department challenged us to think bigger. And we did that. And so that's this new facility that we have opening in San Marcos, with greater expanded services with North County Lifeline, better partnerships with our community. So that's kind of the story, how it got to be this big. I think of students like Isaac or Antonio, and Todd has a great, story with Isaac about, his military stuff. Todd?
Yeah, so we've graduated 125 students up to this point. And, some of the success stories is Isaac. He went to San Marcos High School, so right here in San Marcos, and we met him when he was struggling, dabbling with gangs, dabbling with marijuana, not valuing his schooling, getting D's and F's, and but he was willing to give it a shot. And we grew, he went through our program. We continue to mentor him, and he really turned his life around and made his mom extremely proud. He became an explorer with Escondido Police Department, so we're very proud of him there. And then we helped him get into the military, taking him over to a recruiter, and he was able to pass everything that he needed. And he called us up in December, where he graduated from Army boot camp. So we're extremely proud of Isaac and his success, being in the military, especially serving, continuing to serve and give back.
So when you say students, is there an age range that, you work with or deal with best? What, and then are they all Right. My familiarity with the program, is it still all boys?
Yeah, we are working with young men at the moment. We do have plans. Obviously, the sheriff's department wants to expand that service to include the girls in our schools and in our communities. Yeah, the target age range for us, it's really designed for youth 8th grade through 12th grade, in that range. We have recognized that as students kind of hit that 8th, 9th grade year, they start making good or bad decisions. That really is a defining moment for their character. And so we want to definitely do some interventions there with them and help guide them on the right path so that they can have a successful high school career, hopefully find a good job, hopefully go to college. And again, we want them to be successful members in our community. Being a law enforcement program, we don't want our kids hitting the system. And so we want to avoid that. Or if they have touched the system, maybe they're already on probation, we want to make sure that they can make positive choices and hopefully get off probation and be successful and thrive.
Well, and you started this program, you and Todd and Dustin, and I think there was another deputy sheriff that started the program. And there was no extra pay for this. You did this in your own time, wasn't it? After hours.
Yes, I mean, it was still part of, we were working on the cops unit at the time. It was collateral duty.
Okay.
And yeah, like you said, I think people understand that we were running a program between 3 and 5:30, but Respect Project was so much more than that. You know, it was really giving our extra time, like you said, after work, you know, after 5 o'clock, where you would be with these guys, whether you were driving them home or sitting down and talking to their families, taking them to appointments, whatever it took to really make these guys successful. We wanted to give them 100% because we're always asking them to give us 100%.
So what kind of what activities? I mean, if a kid's out there, you know, what activities? You know, how do you? I don't know if the word is entice, or how do you help? You know, help to educate them on the program, what they can expect. Well, what do you do with them? What do you do with the kids?
Yeah, we basically sit down with them. We do explain everything that we have. It is character building and mentoring. But I always joke with them. And I said, hey, how about you want to throw a dodgeball at a deputy sheriff? And then the kids laugh. And I go, well, don't worry. We want to throw it back at you. And so it's a lot of fun, you know, right away, kind of break the ice. But, you know, with this facility, we have boxing equipment. We have workout equipment. We have basketball, soccer, baseball. We have so much physical activity for these guys to be able to work out. And then also we have pool table, we have air hockey, we have table tennis, we have video games. So there's something for everyone. If they're an artist, we have place that you can draw. We have, you know, materials that you can make stuff. And then where we're at right now is our sound booth, where these guys, you know, they are very talented and they want to do rap songs and they want to do spoken word. And some of our guys know how to play instruments. So it's just a great place to be, a safe environment, so they don't have to worry about that. And having volunteers to come over here and mentor them and be those big brothers for these guys is really what we're looking for.
How do you guys, you know, like you talked about that right there. Supervisor and I were fortunate enough to take a tour of it. And it's, you know, it's an awesome facility. So we've seen it, but how do you then make that next leap for the folks there that are playing sports where it's not just like a camp, or it's not just, hey, I'm going to play video games for an hour. How do you guys and the rest of you make that real impact on someone's life?
Yeah, for us, all the fun stuff, all the activities, the games, the TVs, it's nice, it's glamorous, it's new. Those are on-ramps. Those are tools that we use to build relationships. That's where the change happens. Playing air hockey is not going to transform a kid's life, but we use air hockey to, you know, have that camaraderie, to build that relationship with that student. And again, it's not just the program from 3 to 5 or 3 to 6. It's the after hours. It's the weekends. It's stopping by the kids' school at lunch and sitting with them. You know, those are the moments when those students realize that what we're talking about is authentic. You know, it's not just us going through the motions and just having another program for these students. They're used to that. They're used to just another program that they have to do. But for us, we're hoping that that relationship goes far beyond the program. We talked about 2014. We still have relationships with those guys from 2014. We still see them for lunch. We still talk to them on the phone. Now they're growing up and having kids and getting married, and we're still invited as a part of their life. And that's the defining thing that we're talking about, is those relationships. And that's when you get to speak truth. That's when you get to hear their story. That's when they see law enforcement in a different light. That, yeah, when we take the uniform off and we put on, physical fitness clothes, and we're doing basketball, and we're just like them, and they see us in a different way. And that's the secret sauce, if you will, for Respect Project.
Well, and it's a mutual respect, with law enforcement and these young kids or young students. And so they can kind of learn that, that neither side is actually the bad side, that we're all trying to achieve, the same thing, with each other. So how do you get the word out? And I guess you just have I know you have the San Marcos facility. I guess I got multiple questions here, but is this being also replicated in other cities in North County yet, or you're hoping to do that, or what's kind of the growth stage, I guess, from San Marcos?
Yeah, we've been approached by our department. They're definitely interested in taking this program elsewhere. We recognize that there's a lot of families and students around the county that need these services, and we're in this, North County facility up here. So it's in the idea stage at this point. We want to make sure that this facility in San Marcos, this is new to us and it's new to the program. So we really want to get our curriculum, and we really want to understand how the building is working out for our students before we try and replicate it somewhere else. But yeah, it's gonna come down to staffing and budgets, identifying a location somewhere else. And I think we'll strategically talk to our other stations and really identify communities that could utilize this service. We want to be smart about it and not just put a building somewhere that we didn't really research. So we'll see. I would assume, give us a couple years up here in San Marcos to really, cement ourselves and know what we're doing so that we can take it somewhere else.
So currently, we will have students that are from around the county. We've had a student from Chula Vista. We've had students from Oceanside, Escondido, Vista. So the goal is just Fallbrook. If the parents are willing to drive them here or get them here to do the program, that's the key. We do have, bus service, where it's a block away where it gets dropped off. So the key is getting here, but yeah, all students are welcome to be in the program.
Well, how many, I got a kind of a series of questions here. So how long is when you say they graduated, is it a 1-year program, 2-year program? What's the timeline?
So currently, when we take a new group of students, if you will, it's about 10 weeks, and we'll meet 2 days a week. So Tuesday and Thursday, we'll be with them from basically 3 to 6, and we'll run them through that. Once they graduate, then they'll have access to the building, and they can come, 5 days a week and be able to hang out with us. And, as we bring in guest speakers or other people from the community, they'll also be able to mentor them and guide them and show them their special skills. And then you're here till you're in college, basically. And then we hope that you move on and go off to college and then come back as a guest speaker for the new set of kids.
Yeah, if they can be the mentors, the ones that went. So, and then so it's a 10-week program, and after the program you graduate, then you can come back and continue to participate. How many students in a class? Is there I'm sure you have a limit, how many you can handle? Is it 12, 20? Do you have a size limit for each class?
Yeah, we typically put through per class about between 12 and 16 students, which may not seem like a lot, but the reason that we pick that is we divide our teams, our students into 4 teams, and each of those teams has a mentor assigned to them, at least one. And we like it to be intensive. We're offering a lot of wraparound services and support. And so if we had classroom sizes of 30, 40, 50, the span of control just gets too big, and then it starts to get watered down, and the discussions, are dominated by a couple people, and you can kind of hide in the back. And so we feel like 12 to 16 students in the room, properly facilitated, is the biggest bang for our buck, if you will, and we can get the most the most discussions and the most thoughts out of the kids that we're, really talking about their lives, talking about personal things. So that's how we generally do that. We like to run between 2 and 3 academies per year, because it does take time, obviously, to recruit a new class. And then there's time between classes, and there's holidays and things that we have to be cognizant of. But so that's kind of our wheelhouse, 12 to 16 per class.
Well, then how does like, I know maybe, I'm not really sure, do you recruit them from schools, from the school resource officers? And then if a family, let's say they've got at this point, a boy that's kind of troubled, they can tell he's hanging out with the wrong kids, or he's, potentially getting recruited by a gang. How do you get the word out so that maybe parents might have the opportunity to know about this program and utilize it? How do you do that?
Yeah, that's a great question. We are currently on the sheriff's website. So a lot of times the parents will be looking for outreach and asking, the sheriff's department, like, what do you do for, my son, if you will. And so they'll go on the website, they'll find Respect Project, and then they'll give us a call. We traditionally do it also with the schools. So all the social workers, the psychologists, the teachers, the assistant principals, they all know about our program through our relationships. So they'll call us up with that referral. We work with probation. They'll be able to give us a call. So it's really multiple areas. Our deputies that are out on the street, sometimes they'll run into students that they see potential that could really use this program, or they go to a radio call with a struggling mom or struggling parents, and they're asking for help. And it's a way for the deputies to say, hey, we have a Respect Project. So, they'll give them a flyer and say, give them a call. And then we do a follow-up on every case. We believe that if it's important enough for you to give us a call, it's important enough for us to do a follow-up to see, where that student is and if they can actually be a part of the program.
Well, this is an awesome project. Like I said, we were fortunate to see it, and we really appreciate you guys for doing this. Is there any last kind of thing you want people to know? Like I said before we started talking here, I've seen a lot of great media stories, Union Tribune, I saw Channel 8, I saw basically all the media networks covering you here. So that's fantastic, because I think it's important we get the word out. Is there any last thing you want everyone to know?
Well, we're just so thankful that the Sheriff's Department is allowing us to do this. We really see value in it. We know that men and women in the Sheriff's Department are doing amazing things. And this is just one more opportunity for the Sheriff's Department to give back and truly change lives and make families better, students better, and also the community safer. So we are so thankful for this opportunity, and look forward to growing Respect Project.
Well, I just want to say thank you, so much for doing this and taking the time and effort. I was hoping you were going to play, somebody's going to do a solo here with the guitars in the background to end the program here. But just, thanks so much for doing this. And when I was mayor of San Marcos, when you came up with the idea, I wish I could take credit for it, but it was all your Todd's and Dustin. And who was your counterpart that helped? What was his name?
You're probably thinking of Dan.
Wasn't there 3 of you?
There was actually 4. Dan Chase, who's now a police officer up in Oregon, and then Matt Billier, who's on our SWAT team full time now.
Well, thank you for the, you're thinking outside the box. You're thinking, how can we help these kids before they get into trouble? And a lot of them, have working parents that just don't have the time. They can't get home right away. And if Boys and Girls Club and places like that are not for them, this is another opportunity, for you to, and like I said, the Respect program, it's a mutual respect for each other. And I think just communicating, learning, and being with each other, it's a great opportunity. So I want to say thank you very much for this, and keep up the great work. And I'd love to see this expand throughout North County and all of San Diego County. So great job. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.